He says you can't protect us. But your bad guys do. He's dangerous, right? He won't stop.
Hey everybody, welcome to our podcast. I'm Jason.
And I'm Karen.
And I'm David.
And this is Walking Dead Cast, episode 56.
Hey, everybody.
First of all, welcome back to the show, David.
Thanks. It's a pleasure to be here.
You're here because there was like a bridge out or something?
Yep. There was absolutely no way for us to reach San Francisco except together.
So we're right.
We rode a donkey the whole way.
Did you watch Walking Dead? Did you watch? You made it on time. Did you watch Walking Dead last
Yes,
night?
I watched actually. Let me
Stephen Yeun?
I watched it this morning.
How's Stephen Yeun?
Adorable. And you know what? I'm not going to be ashamed to say it. I'm going to own it. It was adorable.
Did he have anything worthy or good or wild to say?
They did. I'm going to kind of fold that into some things.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Does Chris Hardwick still have dubious fashion choices? Yes, he does.
Could you actually tell if this top button was undone? I couldn't tell. I saw a loose collar under the tie.
Yeah.
And a loose tie.
Oh, he had some of them.
I watched last week's with what's his name? David Navarro.
David Navarro and Lemazar.
Yeah, and you said he was super harsh. Maybe I went in expecting him to just rip him a new L or something. And I thought he said a lot of things I've heard from our listeners' emails and stuff, which I thought was kind of cool that someone would actually be honest and say what people are thinking right in Lemazar's face.
Yeah.
But he also had some compliments too. And he said I wouldn't even bother with this if I wasn't passionate about the show.
Yes, he did make that clear for sure.
If I remember, I think Lemazar was pretty calm back. He answered he all right.
It's something he hasn't heard before.
Yeah, I mean, he even seemed kind of like he appreciated the chance to address the point, but I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. I watched a little bit before with comedians where they just try to run all the time like we do. And
It was pretty good.
yeah, I thought it was good. Yeah. Who was on last night?
It was weird. Have you heard of Patrick Brewster?
Nope.
Well, you're not. Apparently she's on a show called Criminal Minds.
One of those procedurals that you like.
Yes. So clearly she we need to her. So she was on, and then Stephen Yeun, who, as everybody knows,
Is adorable.
is adorable. They did a little graphic of him, and they had these 3 words: Walker Bait, badass, lover. It's so cute. And he did say something really cute before he started. He spent some time after season 1 in Korea, where he was given a bunch of presents with a bunch of things with his face on them, like shoes.
From his fans in Korea?
Yeah, he has like super fans in Korea, and he was given a lot of things, t-shirts and things like that. But apparently, they like putting faces on things, including shoes. I know, that's great.
It's interesting. So a few episodes ago, we interviewed what's that guy's name from FixitChapel.com,
Yeah.
Gary Strainer,
Yeah.
who was part of the film crew on Night of the Living Dead.
Right.
And so they're trying to save this chapel that was in the first scene of that movie. And I bought my quote authentic chapel artifact to help out with the cause.
Did you get it?
No, I didn't get it yet. I think it's on the way. It's a little coffin, and inside it is a piece of this chapel.
A relic.
Right, which probably is like a little chunk of brick or a piece of mold or something. But I thought it would be fun to have this little piece of this was on the set of Night of the Living Dead, whatever the thing.
So cool.
Like a worm or something.
I sent a bunch of Christmas cards.
cards?
Yeah, they're great.
So this thing is only like $15 for shipping, and you just feel like you help out. So if you want to get one, go to FixitChapel.com.
I'm glad you pointed that out.
Anything else you want to say before we get started? Okay, let's get started.
Attention shoppers. It has top 5 in 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, so our top 5 highlights from season 2, episode 9, I think.
Yeah.
Trigger finger.
Trigger finger. First of all, how many out of 5 brains? How many brains do you give it?
I give gaps, so I give it
Okay.
4.5. How about you?
I gave it 3 out of 5 brains.
What? Only 3? Last week you
That's
had
sort of
4?
low rating.
Wow.
David?
Yeah, I would say 4 racks.
I'm surprised at that.
Well, we'll get
All right,
into it. We'll get into it.
I'm trying to think why. Why would you not like it? Okay.
I know, and it was delicious, so you'd think it'd be hard, but I'll tell you.
Well, Glenn kind of showed a lot of flaws in this episode. Maybe that's why you didn't like it.
No.
That's not why.
No.
Because Glenn, since we're on Glenn, and this is one of my top 5s, he hid in the middle of a fight, and Howard, froze up. He kind of just abruptly snubbed Maggie because he couldn't figure out how to man up and be with her in the middle of all this.
Well, it's not
yeah, and he did something else bad too. I forget what it was. Oh yeah, you can take this, but when it came time, Rick wanted to say the guy that was stuck on the post. Glenn's like, let's get out of here, which you wouldn't expect Glenn to do, So I was actually happy that Glenn showed some flaws in this episode. They all seem true to young Gallagher's character, but it's kind of refreshing that they don't just have to be all angelic all the time.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
Yeah, and we were talking about last night how Rick said, hey, go get the car. We'll cover you from the door. He'll just always get the crappy job.
That is true.
Go down the sewer. See what's down there. Go down the wall.
Yeah,
You're right.
you're right. That's a good point. Because he was sort of trying to be here and cover the door. It's like basically you're just gonna wait inside. Nice. Okay. Let's have our guest go first with top 5s. That's you.
Well, thank you very much. My number 5, as simple as possible, since I can go first, is just zombies.
Yeah.
Not a lot of zombies in recent episodes, notwithstanding the one exciting minute of Barn zombie episode, but generally not a lot of zombies. I was happy to see some zombies here.
Totally. So much so that when we did our top 5 recently of shows that we like to see over zombies, her number 5 was Walking Dead.
You go ahead now.
Okay, my number 5 is I just like the whole standoff at the bar scene, but I like in particular the staging of it. I like how they heard the car outside, but you didn't see the car, and you didn't see the people that much. You just heard their voices, and so it felt a lot more tense and scary because they were unknown. And it just showed their faces a lot while you heard the dialogue come from outside. Showed Glenn, Herschel, and Rick's faces.
Much more tense that way.
Yeah, and another thing about that I thought was interesting is none of those guys said or did anything that made me think they're totally evil predators. I mean, the worst thing that they did was they just left that kid there without even thinking about it. That was bad. But one of them, even when they heard that Tony and Dave had died, they're like, let's get out of here. They're kind of scared. Just I don't want to jump right into thinking that they're totally evil. I just think they're less. That may be less integrity than the company, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, integrity or taking foolish risks.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe they've been out there for a while and they're just done taking the dumb risks that Rick seems fond of.
That's right.
Not that I don't Actually, you're a big fat thief because you stole my number 5. That was my number 5 too. I really enjoyed the bar scene. I thought they set up the conflict really nicely. The one thing that bothered me was Rick being a cop maybe is a little honest to a fault. And maybe when they yelled, "Hey, our friends inside there," he should have maybe instead of telling the truth. Yeah, they pulled guns on us and we killed them. And instead of saying that, they could have said something to the effect of, "Hey, we thought they were zombies and we took them out."
Or he could have just said no and then pointed at Glenn. Get out of there.
Yeah, but
Really rolled into it.
yeah, we did kind of agree. If there was a worse thing to say to those guys, he kind of hit right on.
Yeah, I thought he was. Yeah, I guess so.
Sorry.
I thought he was thinking they were going to end up coming in, and so he wanted to kind of prepare them for what they were about to see.
That's true,
but
too.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't necessarily think it was a line up thing. So I just thought they were in a crappy position.
They were, for sure.
But it ended up not really helping, that's for sure. Okay, it's your
My number 4 is the fugue state, the catatonic state, which I think is always strong in a television show. And I especially like what I thought was the best line in the episode where Herschel said, I'm going to give her a sedative, her body's working too hard or something like that. I was like, she's just lying there.
I didn't get that.
It was
You
hilarious.
have to get a catatonic person that says
They gave us our biggest laugh at night. Seriously.
Yeah.
Yes, she actually did say her body's working too hard. Really? Because she's just laying there.
Well, one thing I did notice was that she had her eyes wide open, which is ridiculous. I mean, wouldn't they dry out?
Sorry.
Yeah, she's like,
Yeah, that's a flub.
but all kinds of our favorite shows have an episode with where somebody's in a catatonic state. I think,
You're not being sarcastic about that being a bit cliche?
well, have
Because I know Glenn Zara does some tweets right after the show each week. He answers questions, and one question somebody asked was, "What's the hardest thing about writing a TV show?" And he said, "Avoiding cliches." I think the show is doing a little better at avoiding cliches, but that is a cliche that they didn't avoid.
Right.
Comma.
You know what, though? It's serious. Well, I thought she was bit. I thought that's what was going on with her. But
Yeah.
she's not.
but you got a fever on that stuff.
She did. You're probably right. Isn't
Yeah,
that
people were wondering that, but now I
Yeah, I don't think so.
don't know.
She would turn into a Zed face. Yeah, last night when he said that, I practiced my session.
Jenner said it takes anywhere from 5 minutes to a few days or something like
She's a good
that.
turn.
Yeah, I
I
think
checked
so.
her real well.
You'd think they would at least bring that up in the context of the show. Like,
Right.
keep an eye on her.
Right.
She tries to bite you, like growling.
She's not just
Remember how your mom was the other day? She came family on who's turn? No, my number 4 was the sound design and the music. I was just noticing that I think Bear McCreary is getting better at creating these sort of eerie sound beds, ambient music that add a lot to the scene. And they're just making really good choices. Like the second scene of the episode, it showed the outside of the bar, and they wanted to pick it right where the last one left off. And instead of showing Rich shooting those guys, you just heard gunshots. So we're seeing that from another perspective, stuff stuff like that. There's let's see, I have a couple of samples that I wanted to play that kind of illustrate. This one I probably the whole thing, but it's the scene between Laurie and Shane, and I think it would have been a typical boring Walking Dead emotional scene if not for the sound bed, which I think ramps it up a little bit. So,
Love you. I love you. I look cool. I told Rick. You know what? He's not doing well. That's what we're doing. The world's doing it. She need comfort. Just that.
just that makes it a little more heavy or something.
You know what? That ain't true. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
And then there's the very opening scene with Laurie. She's unconscious in the car, and at first all you hear is the clicking of, I think, the hazard lights.
Right, or her blinker,
Yeah,
yeah.
look at that. The thunder in the background. and there's a blast breaking zombie sounds. Still got something in the background. Camera work is really good too. Like came out the side of the car and over the top.
Right.
It was really good job of doing the show. The music is so good.
Yeah, yeah, right in there.
She gave me a little.
Yeah.
It's very good. Great.
Is it right? You just see your eyes open and just like, whoa.
Can I ask you a quick question, Tom? So in your not that you know directly, but you know indirectly about being a zombie.
Yeah.
Do you make the zombie sounds, or do they add it in later?
They added in later. Yeah, they added in post. I don't know if they added all in, but from what I know, they added some of it.
Those are good zombies.
And then here's the last one I just started throwing because it's so intense. Because somebody's getting his face chewed off.
Wow. What do you people in the movies that add in sound effects like
Foley.
Foley? Yeah, and
I
they're
don't know the Foley zombies.
well, the sound of the crunching and the
Oh,
really
yeah,
the
yeah.
shredding. That's like stock celery snapping here. Wow, awesome.
There you go.
That's great. Wow. Okay, my number 4 is there were a lot of WTF and you know what I mean moments in the show. For instance, times when I was sort of yelling at the television, and for instance when they wanted to operate on Randall being impaled while the zombies were coming, the guy fell off Randall. I call him Randall being impaled. He's on the fence and he's got the
Can we operate or should we not?
Yeah, you hear something on the fence and you think that they could easily fall on your side, but not Randall. He's on there getting stuff.
Maybe we should sort of set up a whole little operating table here. Well,
Yeah, yeah.
no, it's probably not a good idea. I kept screaming at the television, pop the off, and you know, finally did. Sending Glenn up to the car, as you said. Randall jumping from the roof, bad idea.
Wait, why is sending Glenn up to the car?
Because why is it him?
Because he's fast.
Yeah, he's fast. So that
I mean, I don't think it's fair, but necessarily. I don't see that. Yeah.
I'll give you that. Bring Randall home blindfolded seems kind of a, Randall's knee is his leg is basically, I'm sure he's not keeping track of where he's going. And then the idea of fixing him and sending him packing with a little canteen, dropping him at some roadside seemed like a big deal for me.
Well, they're afraid that he's going to tell all his compatriots where they are 'cause they're looking for the farm.
Right. But if they fix him up and then they just drop him off at the street corner, that seems like a my fix him, basically saying not to do something.
And that's the conversation they're all having. They haven't done that yet.
Right, they need to.
They're-
They just want to think
The whole plan is not well fleshed.
Yeah.
No, I did it.
Okay.
Number 3.
Number 3, so a little background on my number 3. The company I work for is based in Philadelphia, so a lot of my good friends are from Philly, like a couple of my best friends. So I just like the whole guys from Philly thing. First of all, it was like David Tony from Philly, you were going to come in and do all sorts of nefarious stuff.
Be on ground.
Yeah, I mean, yes, they're doing like
Have sex with
yeah, trying to shoot people. And then, but then even the rest of the guys from Philly, they're just a little rough around the edges, maybe not some of the polite niceties of some of the other people in the show. Like the guy drives up in the pickup truck and he's like, we gotta go, just jump off that roof. I can't wait the 20 seconds for him to come downstairs. Just jump in the truck and jump off the roof.
And then just goes, oh, sorry. He's like, I gotta go, sorry.
Yeah, you're kind of expecting, and because he's from Philly, you're kind of expecting him to just make fun of us, like, oh, nice jump.
Hey, he did say sorry. I mean, that's polite.
Anyway, Philadelphia. Oh, and by the way, one of the Philadelphia guys basically being Fat Tony, which gives one of our names.
Thank you a lot, G-Saker.
Okay, my number 3 is just kind of a meditation on cuss words in general. Shane almost said a bad word, but then, wait, hold on a second.
Carl, let's keep your head, okay? Young man, he's done something.
And, sorry, I happen to know that the people who own that farmhouse for realties, they actually don't allow cussing in-house, and they made an agreement with the crew that if we're going to use this, our house for Walking Dead, you can't cuss in here.
No
yeah,
kidding.
so it's interesting. I thought it was kind of cool they built that into a scene.
Yeah,
Kind of wink-wink.
that's great.
How long did Walking Dead rent the house for? I mean, it's a lot of episodes.
I don't know. They filmed
They had to be
it
there for a
a few months, yeah. I mean, that family must have lived somewhere else during that time. There's some cussing in that episode, like right after Rick shot Tony and Dave in the very beginning. Glenn said, holy shit.
Wow, look at AMC go.
And later, one of Tony and Dave's friends outside says,
I'm not going back and tell him Dave Porter shot like an asshole in the bar.
Apparently that works on mine.
yeah, so this all makes me feel better about our decision not to bleep out the cuss words on our fucking podcast.
Here with the trouble of
That's true,
WTF.
that's true.
Yeah, it's true.
That's my number 3.
Good job. My number 3 is poor Glenn. I love the fact that he seems like the most real life element to me and the most fully developed, just because his story arc of going from a loner who just kind of goes into Atlanta and can zip around Atlanta, and he's he doesn't have anybody to yeah, and now he's conflicted. He's the love guy, and everybody else is going around yelling at each other, yelling. And I love when nice guy Glenn is, and he's just trying to make his way into the interesting world of being in love. Good for him.
I totally don't agree with that.
Dear boy.
he just blew her off.
Because he's scared.
Yeah.
He's scared.
How's that being good and nice?
I love it.
I'm scared, so F you.
He's not gonna. No,
he's
it's
not
gonna work
gonna
out.
get that, but-
He's just trying to make his way. He's confused and he's never had it. He was talking about it. He was like, I don't want to hear
What if I said to you, I'm scared you might be embarrassed on this podcast, so I'm going to do it by myself because I don't want you to be embarrassed. Get out of here.
it. I would cry. They should call you like, I didn't need
Yeah.
it. Come back to our podcast.
And then our season will be over.
Too bad. I embarrassed you all the time.
No, okay. You want to see Glenn through rose colored glasses.
That's my choice.
She's just happy because if they're on the outside, you might get them.
Exactly. You need someone to come from. Your turn.
My number 2 is surgery at the drop of the hat. And I think that the show doesn't really give a lot of respect to modern medicine. Because Herschel's a vet.
Yeah.
He's operating on people right and left. And on his farm. Like yesterday, he said, "Prep the shed, we're doing surgery."
Yes, he did.
You want to operate on the guy who was impaled on the fence.
In the shed?
Right after you've been drinking. But it seems to turn out well. He must be pretty healthy. So I just like that surgery seems to be an option at any
We haven't seen Randall the day after.
time. No, we haven't. But however, nerve damage or whatever, his house will probably go down really
Yes.
When I was
Or he
thinking,
buys it.
when I want my wife, the pathologist is someone who studies tissue samples to see if mostly people have cancer, or a veterinarian to do surgery on me. My turn?
Yeah.
Okay, I really enjoyed Herschel in this episode, how he kind of manned up. This was Herschel turned a corner in this episode. I mean, he just kind of came to terms that, okay, my family is dead, my wife is dead, but so now I realize these zombies are dangerous, so now I'm going to have to do what needs to be done. And so now with that new attitude, he's got a new sense of confidence and purpose, I think. And it comes through in his manner. Like when Rick asks him to cover Glenn while he runs the car, and Rick says, you must have that gun training, could come in handy. Herschel says,
Nothing cheap, just don't like to.
so he's like, all right, I got you. Then later, just 1 second later, there's a little bonding moment with Glenn. He says,
Rick, you try the car. That's right. You'll try and succeed. I'll cover you.
so he sort of got this like supportive. I mean,
Yeah.
granted, he didn't say, okay, I'll do it, but
I
you know,
wonder what his past is.
I know the actor in the interview said he used to be a biologist and he's a vet. He's a man of science.
But he had a drinking problem. He stopped
Yeah.
drinking. And also, he knows how to shoot.
Well, they're in the country. I think that's probably why.
If you're a farmer from rural Georgia, I guess, you're probably not shoot.
You're
Got
not
animals, you live in the woods, basically. Or
Yeah.
visualize them.
Yeah.
And here he is deciding how he's going to handle Randall.
After suddenly the kneecap, he's going to lose his lower leg.
It sounds like he's an army knife. Yeah. I do agree that scene was totally ridiculous. He's like, and you know, let's just do this procedure. Sounds like it's going to take about 3 hours. And he thought his zombies started coming in every direction.
Pop the leg
It's like,
off.
come on.
Yeah, exactly.
I did like it when Rick.
Let's go.
Here's another sign that Herschel turned corner this
The
episode.
gunfire must have attracted walkers.
Bob Mockers. That's the first time.
Yeah. And remember last week in the bar, he said, come see the zombies your way. I mean, basically he said, you know.
Yeah, he's
There's no fear.
And then here's the best part I thought.
Look at this, folks. We back in Fantasyland. No, we haven't even dealt with what you did in my barn yet. Let me make this perfectly clear once and for all. This is my farm. Now, where you going? Rick helped me out. That doesn't mean I have to like it. So do us both a favor. Keep your mouth shut.
Yay! So I think that might come back on him, but for the moment anyway, he's a badass.
It's refreshing. Shane, shut up. Okay, is it? Okay, my number 2. Wait.
Number 2.
My number 2 was the biggest unintentional laugh of the night, which we already mentioned Herschel giving that sedative, but my runner-up biggest unintentional laugh of the night was Maggie running past Herschel to hug Glenn. This is so great. It was kind of a complete FU to Herschel.
Yeah.
And she was
drinking.
she was mad.
Yeah,
He was drinking. He was gone. Not just drinking. It wasn't just like he went to the attic to drink. He left and went to a bar in a village where zombies are roaming to take a few back. So I don't
So
know.
how was that unintentional?
I don't think they meant that to be a funny moment when Maggie runs past Herschel. They did.
Of course they did. It was funny. How could it not be?
Let me rephrase that. My intentionally biggest laugh of the night was Maggie running past Herschel.
Yeah, I actually thought it was a bit silly until later she made it clear that she was sad and oh, that's what she's at.
Yeah.
I'm sure they had to do that. That was going to be funny.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
great.
a good
Yes, sure did.
All right, my number 1 has to do with Lori, and not that she's ever been a weak character, but she really all of a sudden turned into a badass in this episode, which I really enjoyed. First of all, there's that ripping the car out of the car and doing this incredible backhanded stab through the eye of the zombie, which was a really pretty athletic move for somebody who just got unconscious seconds earlier. and then later in this episode, she's essentially putting her husband up to kill her lover, which was kind of a wily cutthroat move. And then she also telling her husband, whatever the baby is, the baby's yours, basically saying just go with it. So in general, I thought, like I say, never weak, but she whiny at times, maybe before she became very strong.
proactive.
Oh, yeah, she killed that one zombie with a hubcap.
Yeah, she's like, I'm taking charge.
Right, found objects.
Yeah.
I think the thing that was a screwdriver was actually a turn signal liver. She snapped
Yeah,
off.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
resourceful.
right. And she knocked him out, but she shot him in the head with a gun that she had to go fish out of.
Okay.
Which is
Right.
scary. Yeah, that whole scene at the end with her, like being Lady Macbeth, is interesting. It's like everything she was saying was true about Shane, but she phrased it in such a way to strongly suggest that he go off and kill Shane. I thought.
Yes, I thought that's what she was talking about, too.
Which I thought was a bit over the top.
Really though?
Yeah.
I think she's completely justified.
I think she's scared.
Yes.
I mean, maybe she's justified, but so far she's shown some loyalty to Shane. She even told him that she wanted him to stay at one point with the group.
I think she has.
changed her mind.
She figures they're not going to both survive. She thinks one of them
Yeah.
kill the other, and she's taking one.
Well, also, do you remember what Dale told her?
Right.
I mean, maybe the fact that Dale told her that he intentionally killed Otis changed her mind. Maybe that pushed her over the edge. Like, okay, he's capable of killing somebody.
Yep,
So,
that's true.
Which, by the way, I think is a little unfair because of all the things Shane does in the show, that's the most defensible to me.
Not me.
Not me.
Well, it is defensible. I
They
would
won't
say.
get away.
Probably not.
I don't know.
I mean, my argument for that is always, well, if he was a true hero, then why didn't he dive into those zombies and let Otis get away? And other people say because Otis was fat and now Shane eliminated. But he was a zombie wrangler, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It's arguable.
It is arguable to do that. Okay, my number 1 is just the whole scene with Laurie and the zombies. I loved it. It was straight out of a horror flick. Especially, I like the camera work. The zombies look great pushing through the glass with his cheeks.
With his skin
coming
right
off,
back, yeah,
bringing it
awesome,
together.
awesome.
And,
Yeah, great effect.
I really liked after she killed him with a turn signal and then was kind of backing up and shot him and just sort of quietly ambushed behind her. You know, like, and wanted to hold her hair at some point. He's like,
It was
So,
fantastic.
Love that.
I completely agree. That was my number 1 too. Laurie getting her badass on. Nobody saved her other than picking her back to the farm. But nobody. I was expecting her to be unconscious. Shane gets her and Shane kills the zombies. No, she did it all on her.
And then Shane found her
You go, girl.
in the aftermath, in the afterglow.
And tricked her into coming back to the farm.
Here's a WTF that I was surprised by is, or else I'm crazy, but it seems like at the end of last week it was day and now suddenly it's night.
Right.
But you hear the gunshots, so you know it's the exact same moment.
Right. And also they come back to the farm today again. Like, how far away is that?
I know, that's true. Huh?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, that's very.
Well, they stop at the for like a milkshake or something.
Right. It's like
It's pretty outer space. One thing we commented on last night is whatever town this is they're supposed to be in is apparently the only town in the United States where the pharmacy has been bought by Walgreens or CVS. Steve's Pharmacy.
They should have CVS. It reminded me kind of Evil Dead. I almost forgave it. Evil Dead, Ash just suffers through this horrible night, and then the sun finally rises, and he's a bit relieved, and the sun quickly races across the sky. Like, I gotta write that.
Did you notice that Frank Darabont is still listed as executive producer?
Yeah, he has been.
So is that just a thing that's gonna keep going because he was executive producer at the beginning?
Yeah, and maybe not next season, but I think the rest of the season, even though he hasn't had anything to do with these episodes.
That's interesting. Also, I have to say one thing that's kind of annoying is these days the living are a way bigger pain in the ass than the dead.
You don't like that?
I don't. Just from a perspective of a passive viewer, there's a lot of yelling and a lot of strife, and it's like yelling, kills, yelling. And I know it's the zombie apocalypse, but oh my god, there's a lot of just talk.
It'd be better if they were all just playing cards or something.
Yes.
It is a hallmark of really, if you think about just about everything zombie movie though.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The demons are a big problem.
The demons become the big
Yeah,
problem.
Night of the Living Dead, they're all killing each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, and in the comic, Walking Dead comic, a lot of what happens that's bad is about humans and not zombies. So you're gonna have to get used to that. I think if they're gonna keep going along.
Right,
with that.
right.
The whole we both just kind of have a couple of notes usually. Daryl lashing out at Carol.
Yeah, and turning feral. Daryl's turning feral again.
It's like
Yes.
it runs. I sometimes make my mind about Daryl seems a little bit like the Fonzie character of the show or something. But this scene I actually kind of liked that she was, even though he was being very insulting and offensive, she was just being real steadfast with him because she sees that he's hurt and she wants to be a friend.
Yeah,
That was good.
she knows he has to vent, and she's being there for him to vent on.
He's being particularly vicious. But then later on, it's very subtle. But when everybody's kind of converging in the house for another scene, you see Daryl look over at her and just kind of give one of these chin up things.
Yeah,
What's up?
yeah.
And she's like, okay. And that's, I guess, that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Did you notice he's crafting his ear necklaces again and hanging up the wooden features?
We have I got a last minute haiku today. About
Did you?
that. Yeah, I'm just going to read it right now instead of waiting for it. It's from Andrew. Daryl's necklace is more than a little creepy. It's downright eerie. Eerie.
Awesome, Andrew. That's great. That is so great.
When Andrea said Shane's done more to keep the group alive than anyone, I was super annoyed. Like, to Dale,
Yeah, I agree.
Especially since she still hasn't thanked Dale for stopping her from killing herself.
Yeah.
Like, God, she'd at least do that.
Right.
Go, okay, well, I realize now that I did it for you. Thanks.
She's on the Shane bandwagon, and yeah, she's telling him to work on his presentation. Really? I don't know. There's a better way to present crashing down the barn and packing up blocks.
Yes, presentation, yes, but this makes you look also.
Anything else?
Yeah, one last thing. So in The Talking Dead, after the show, they have every episode. One thing I really enjoy is that they do have an in memoriam section where they show the zombie kills or human kills of the show, and they have sort of sad music playing, and they show who died the episodes. Then they go and they name the zombies, and they sometimes give them names. And at the very end, they showed Sean, the guy who was the buddy who got shot and just left in the road. He's the one who got his face ripped off. So at the very end, they said they died not once but twice, except for Sean, who got shot and had his face eaten.
Sean, by the way, is my zombie kill of the week. I don't know if it counts when the zombie kill is when the zombie kills somebody else, but
That is a zombie killing. Yes. Yeah, it goes both ways.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Writers.
My zombie kill of the week is the turn signal and eye socket.
You too?
Yeah, I think it's very clear. Okay.
Yeah, backhand. It was right. It was a clean shot right to the eyeball.
Yeah, what you missed?
Yeah, but the great thing with zombies is you have a couple chances.
Me too. Shall we go?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's read some listener top fives. You
All
first.
right, this one is from Jonathan. Jonathan writes, number 5, his top 5 is number 5 is Daryl's rant. Yeah, it sounds bad putting that as a top 5, but I think it really shows that he cared for Sophia and was angry at himself for them. Yeah, absolutely. His rant was great. Number 4, Herschel around. He's quickly becoming a favorite character on the show, and I think he'll show some badassness soon.
He really has.
Yeah, he has badassness. 3, Zombie Munchkin. The zombie.
Munchkin, not Munchkin.
Oh, sorry.
What's that?
That would be adorable. Sorry.
Zombie log.
Zombie Munchin. missing G. The zombie eating that dude's face was pretty brutal. Yep, skip the soft flesh and go straight for the face.
Zombie munching.
That was Nico. Oh, Nico. Number 2, Tarzan. Wow, props to the makeup prep crew. That walker coming from the window was pretty awesome. He was so focused on brains that his skin was tearing around his jaw. Just get through. Awesome. Yeah, that was fantastic. My toes curled. And number 1, Shane. The guy is a loose cannon. The show can't afford to lose him. He brings more attention to the show than the walkers. Agreed.
Yep.
It's the living people.
It's the living people. This is top 5 from Evan, and Evan says number 5, struggling for a fifth. Maybe when they discuss Carl not having received the talk, Dale looked a little perplexed. Told Lori, don't look at me, that's his dad's job. I just thought what Dale gave was kind of funny. I think the show in general could use more Dale and more T-Dog.
More T-Dog.
Agreed. Rick rating the kids like offense. It was better than the idea that Herschel was going to do a battlefield amputation while being run over by walkers. I got into my first thought was mercifully put a light in his eyes. You may still not be right about that. And I thought for a second Herschel was just going to put him down like a horse with a broken leg. Did he say something about putting him down?
Yeah, we're gonna have to now. That's my second.
Number 3 from Evan, Herschel shooting the walker buffet behind bar. It was a solid center mass shot in low light and a moving shooting back target. Keep in mind that was a scavenged pistol that he never fired before that moment, having after consumed a few drinks. Not bad for an old dude.
Well said, Evan.
The walker that Herschel shot behind the bar being eaten. Walker buffet. That Herschel shot behind the bar being eaten, especially his nose being removed from his face. That was a pretty gruesome effect in a series that has many. Not sure what ranks in gruesome effects space, but it's pretty damn high.
Yep, that's straight out of Romero.
Yep. And number 1, Lori breaking accessory control off the steering column and stabbing the walker in the eye was resourceful, but way too reminiscent of Andrea's screwdriver kill. That's a good observation. It kind of brought that scene down a little. The part just before that with the walker trying to push his face through the windshield was excellent. You could see the glass just ripping the flesh off his face, but none of that mattered. It was time to feed. Again, the effect of standing just added to the suspense of the scene.
I don't think
Thanks, Evan.
All right, so we'll take a break.
Do it.
All right, back. See what's.
I heard something out with the drum.
Nope. I didn't know they were still existed.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I just played it again. San Francisco.
Yeah, let's get into some news about Walking Dead. There's just a few items today. I've been waiting for a long time for news of Telltale Games' upcoming Walking Dead video game. It's this company that do these serial adventure story-based games, so they're a little less like a Twitch game and more like character and story-based. I was really glad to hear that they got this zombie game. They finally started promoting it. It's called The Walking Dead, I think. And here's a section from the FAQ. Is this game about Rick Grimes, the hero of the comic book and TV show? They say no. Robert Kirkman and Telltale felt it would be more interesting to tell a story of a new group of survivors. When does this game take place in the Walking Dead timeline? Our first episode takes place at the outset of the zombie apocalypse and Rick Grimes still in a coma. They say, so who do I play as? You play as Lee Everett, a man convicted of a crime, but who's offered a chance of redemption, albeit in a world overtaken by walkers. He only ever plays Lee, and we'll see the world from his point of view. So on their site, there's also this 13-minute Q&A with a couple of the developers of the video, and I'm just going to play a short segment from that.
So Kirk and I used to be kind of a gamer. Was he concerned for the game? Or was he like, make sure you don't do A, B, and C?
He actually specifically liked the fact that we were making games about story about characters, about like he came in knowing there are billions of games where all you do is blow away a million zombies and the zombies are just sort of interactive with the process, and he thought it was cool to be making a game where everyone was housing cries. Was it right? I mean, yeah, what's the quote was, I don't understand why people think it's so hard to write Walking Dead. All you have to do is make people hug and crying.
It's really funny.
Next thing, in an interview at EW.com with Robert Kirkman, they asked right at the end of the episode, Lori came over very Lady Macbethy. She was literally whispering to Rick's ear about taking Shane down. He says, yeah, she's terrified, and with good reason. She could possibly be maliciously directing Rick towards a course of action, or she could be in her own way saying, I'm terrified and I don't know what to do. There are a lot of different ways you can interpret that scene. I watched it again and it seemed pretty clear. And she was like, she just laid out this sort of methodical reasoning about why she killed.
Yeah, I actually think she has good cause.
Yeah.
I do.
But yeah, I thought you made it really clear. You kind of reminded him, hey, on the way. And by the way, this guy's dangerous.
Right, she's like, so you killed somebody to protect what you care about, and he's like, yeah, and then he's like, well, Shane says I'm his. So basically, aren't you going to kill him to protect me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as I mentioned earlier, when there's these post-show tweets, which I find really interesting, so I'll read a couple of them. One person asked, can Iron Singleton get more lines? He's such an underdog. He says he will keep watching. That's what they keep saying.
Underdog. Under T-Dog.
They say, huge fan, but don't you think it's a little silly that in zombie apocalypse a grown man calls himself T-Dog? He says, actually, yes. And I think that's a Darabont thing. And I get the feeling it's through some like subtle and sometimes not so subtle undertones that Mazar actually thinks Darabont doing a lot in a few areas of the show.
Interesting.
They say, what would you say is the hardest thing about writing television? Artists avoiding cliches. They say, why did they go from daylight to darkness in Varsity? He says, that was the same day they found Sophia. Long day. Yeah, but why would that mean it would immediately?
Right. And then when they drive home,
It's
like,
like,
okay, well.
because they say, I hope the rest of the season has the same intensity of last night's episode. He says, it does. And this last one is a little spoilerish. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers, very light, but go ahead and move to the next section now. But they say, did Sophia hide in the house Daryl found in Cherokee Rose? Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He says, no. So I think that means it's Merle. That's like
Oh.
stalking them or something.
Right. Oh, that's creepy. It's creepy.
We're definitely going to see Merle again, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
In some form.
Yeah, whether it's an imaginary ghost. Which is
Yeah, we see him all the time. Yeah.
Okay, that's it for that. I'm gonna move on now to listener Rones. So the first several of these are last week's episode, Nebraska.
Nebraska. Okay, and this first one comes from Jesse. What an awesome episode. I want to comment on what Evil Jason said about the law of the land. That was definitely a choice. In the face of pain, stress, extremes, we show our true colors. We show even if we're going to revert to animals or hold true to our morals. According to Evil Jason, it's natural to revert into selfish and self-serving beings. I highly and wholeheartedly disagree. It's easy to be good when times are good. It's a whole different thing to be good when it's extremely difficult to be good. That's when we see people's true colors. That's when we see the Ricks shine. Still human and still failing, but holding on for dear lives to our morals. Yeah, I agree, Jesse.
Will you agree that man is basically good?
Yeah, I do.
Interesting.
It's interesting, this guy Stuart says, I've seen a number of comments on forums, etc. that Rick was hypocritical to not extend the welcome to Dave and Tony when he already imposed his group on Herschel and his family. I see some key differences. The merging of Rick and Herschel's groups came about as a result of a series of tragic circumstances. Sophia's disappearance, Carl being shot. Granted, once they're on the farm, Rick did argue they should be allowed to stay, but he was sincere in his offer to work together and build resources. Rick was not actively seeking to take over the farm. I don't think this was the case with Dave and Tony. Rick knew they were bad news the second they walked in the bar, and remember he's a cop, he's trained to recognize scumbags. Dave and Tony intended to kill the three of them as soon as Rick revealed the location of the farm. Then they would round up their friends, attack the farm, kill men, rape the women, and
They have scumbag training classes, I've heard.
Rating livestock.
Right. If you make reference to poos, you're probably a scumbag.
And if he in our underground.
Right.
Right, and keep in mind that this, the very first episode, the very beginning of it, is Rick being shot by somebody. So he probably decided if I ever get out of this, I'm
I'm
gonna shoot
gonna
first.
shoot every scumbag I see.
Let's do it.
Okay, where are we?
You got CJ.
Okay, CJ. I know when Rick shot Scrawny Tony, he shot him twice, and the last shot to the head. Now I'm convinced that Rick is where the shooting people in the head is the only way to kill them. No way for them to come back. I'm getting to see some characteristics of Rick. Oh yeah, so we've kind of talked about that.
Yeah.
I think either that's what Jenna did or he just did it to be safe. Then he says, I'm getting to see some characteristics of Rick from the comics come to life in the show, which is very exciting, and I totally agree.
Thanks for writing, CJ. Next one's from Jonathan. Hey, dead guys. Hey. Nebraska was a great start to season 2.5, and you guys had all the great points about the show. Speaking of zombie movies, there are must-see. I'm not sure if you guys have seen or talked about it, but Pontypool is a fantastic movie. It's not quite zombie, but pretty close. Highly recommend it. Oh, and for the awesome, good horror fun that's not zombie related, it's Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. Ignore the crazy title and Netflix it. We have talked about Pontypool.
Yeah, but I don't remember the name came out. I don't really know anything about it.
You know, when I'm sometimes killing all the time and going through movies that are on
Q?
yeah, no, not Q. They're just available and playing almost every single time that I look through what's playing on the cable stations. It's Pontypool. There's Pontypool. Pontypool.
You know,
Yeah, it's really
this is sort of, I don't know if I should admit this, but at this point, I feel like I don't want to watch a whole lot of second-rate zombie movies right now because I'm into The Walking Dead. We do this podcast, so I don't like to take risks. Not to say that Pontypool's not a great movie. It might be really good, but I'm just saying the reason why I haven't seen a lot of these is because I don't go seeking out zombie stuff because I do this for so many hours a week.
Yeah, maybe the next season after.
Yeah.
After
Yeah, we should watch it.
I think as an homage to Jonathan, we should see Pontypool.
Okay, good deal.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Patrick says, Rick trusted his well-known cop instincts and knew those two filthy rats were up to no good. They forced his hand in the situation by continuing to dig into where they were staying and feeling them out. When Fat Tony pisses in the corner, he sealed the direction that conversation was going to end up. They opened the door and then it would have been impossible to keep them out. Dave was a classic smooth-talking con. He looks clean and nice on the surface, but underneath is all about taking wherever he needs to get by. As far as Navarro being negative, it's easy to say there aren't enough heads, but that is the only negative statement anyone can come up with that I can
Do you agree that it's like, yes, this guy Dave was a bad guy?
I mean, it's certainly implied. I do think that the longer it goes in the zombie apocalypse, that a higher and higher percentage of the living humans you're going to meet are tough survivors in one way or the other, whether they're either just strong in whatever way it is. And it could be in that way that you're kind of driving and violent. You know, I think you're going to meet less socials and a lot more days.
Yeah, I agree with that. Although I do agree with you. I think it was heavily implied, but still not totally certain. You know, I mean, it was pretty clear that Tony was a scumbag, but I'm still not convinced for sure that Dave was.
I mean, they had enough. They had people like him well enough to come looking for them, so
Yeah.
they must have been friends.
Yeah, they had friends, exactly. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it was also implied that they were going for the guns. I mean, you don't actually see them pull out the gun, but they sort of have the pen in the pocket.
You mean Dave? He was grabbing
He was
the bar to
actually
shoot, right?
yeah. Tony was fortunate for Rick to still on the run.
Yeah. Okay, next is me. This is from John. I just recently picked up The Walking Dead Volume 1 Days Gone By the other day and just finished reading it. That's the comic. I enjoyed the difference between comic and show and can see how they each complement each other. The one problem I have with graphic novel so far is the dialogue. It seems very generic and not interesting. Other than the times they were sitting around the campfire, the dialogue just seemed boring. I was just wondering if I was missing something, if it gets better, and if this is just me, or if this is something that other people notice too. Also, does each volume have 6 comics? Is that right? I think that's right. Yeah, I think they each have 6 comics. 6 issues of the comic. I think that's one of the weak parts. Definitely the dialogue. I think it does get better as it goes along. I think he gave the characters a little bit too much to say, and they often say exactly what's on their mind, and so it doesn't come off like real people. But I think he got better later on. And I also just think that the other parts of the story more than compensate for that, because it's one of my favorite comics, and every month when it comes out, it's always the first one I read. So I'd say still give it more of a chance if you're all on the fence about it.
I agree. Thanks, Miranda.
And from here on out, the emails are all about last night's episode.
And this one comes from in Panama City. Yeah, Walking Dead is back. See, this is what I was talking about before. This is the show as it was meant to be. Oh, and will someone please shoot Sean or however you spell it in the face for me? Thanks. Yeah, baby.
Sean.
Sean is the guy, the friend who was shot and screaming on the ground and hit his face enough. That was your trying to kill me.
Oh, I thought he was trying to say Shane, but Sean's the guy that was getting his face eaten off.
I assume it was put him out of his misery. Shoot Sean, put him out of his misery.
I thought that too. One bullet, like I was saying.
Yeah,
That's
really.
in the face.
Yeah,
that would be the best place.
Thanks
Sorry,
for
anyway.
writing Panama City.
So Rayanne says, loved hated last night's episode. I'm over the Rick Shane dynamic. I wouldn't pick either one of them as my leader. Shane's obviously opposite rocker, though I agree with Andrea that his motives as far as group safety is concerned are valid, but his execution is seriously lacking. Interesting choice words. And I feel like Rick is either consciously or subconsciously trying so hard to represent exactly the opposite of what Shane is, and that can be just as dangerous. They should have left a wannabe Spider-Man straggler zombie bait that risked all their lives wasting much ammo. No good can come of it. What good is a stranded dump in a zombie apocalypse? Dude would have been better off with bullet through his noggin. And when Glenn was recounting his freak out Maggie, I was so hoping that he was going to speak out against what Rick did, but he was too focused on his own role or lack of in the situation. And as for Dale, he needs to step up too. He's made it very obvious what he thinks about Shane, but he's doing it in such a mean girls talking behind Rick that way that it comes across as more of a personal issue than a group problem. He really feels that Shane is a danger to the group and needs to say that right if he wants anyone to take it seriously. One last thing, the suspense in this last episode was fantastic. I feel like we were lulled into a false sense of security for the first half of the season, and I forgot what it was like constantly worried that the zombie was going to pop out of nowhere. And the Walker peeling back his own face in the car windshield to get Lori, freaking priceless. Loved it. Awesome.
Wow, we haven't said it all so well. In fact, I want her to represent my opinion from now
I
on.
like the mean girls thing.
Yeah,
Totally.
it's perfect.
People have been complaining about Dale, and I've been like, no, I'm like, okay, you're right. Come on, Dale.
Yeah. And the fact that she loved hated last episode, that's how I feel. I love hated it. Yeah, perfect. Thank you for writing, and please write in now with your opinion that I'll use mine.
Send it straight to Karen@gmail.com. This is from Lila from Nebraska. She says, I had a problem with the cavalier way they handled the walkers' bodies. Why weren't they wearing gloves? The bodies are decaying and skin can split open. Maybe they didn't have any gloves, but I would make it a priority to get some and masks or bandanas the next chance they get.
I'll say it one more time. They play fast and loose with bodily fluids.
They don't use condoms either.
Bloodborne pathogens, people. Understand what that means.
I think it's pretty clear at this point. The only way you get it is to be bitten.
The magical bite.
I mean, they spread goop all over their bodies.
Yeah.
You know, everything in the world is
Are we sure about that? I mean, really, maybe that,
But, yeah, I mean-
maybe that's infected without actually being
Even that scene where they put it all over their bodies, like, you have to understand, but it's like, dude, it's all over.
Right.
It's like your face is closed. Okay, there was a good tweet from Violet and Veruca. This is in response to our last podcast episode. She says, yippee, this will make my Tuesday in the office less painful than a pickaxe in the head. That is a high compliment.
That is a high compliment. Thanks, Violet and Veruca.
And then we got a couple calls. This one is from Mark.
Hi guys, this is Mark from over in Carter. I just finished watching the latest episode of Nebraska on iTunes. Anyway, it was a really good episode, but my question is for the both of you who are experts on Walking Dead. Why did they throw in Lori looking for Rick when she had just adamantly talked to Rick about him because of his son, how his son needs him? But then she just decided to up down, leaving both their sons with no parallel. I think that seems like kind of odd. No addition to the TV series. I'm just throwing a little bit more attention because it doesn't matter where she can get that guy, which is the baby who has a chance. Who knows? Anyway, that is all I got, and my zombie time is as such.
Zombie that didn't go
That's great. That's great. I love that. That was Mark. Thanks, Mark.
Why'd you do that?
She wasn't thinking clearly. I mean, at first I thought her motivation might also to get Herschel because he's a doctor. She knows being pregnant, she's the new doctor.
But that's what Rick just went.
Right, to get him back.
Yeah, so why'd she follow him?
She wants to get both of them back. She thinks so much she's gonna help.
Yeah, it didn't make sense to me. I mean, it seemed like he left about half an hour before that.
was a terrible
And
idea.
they said, oh, she's now like the girl in the coma. She was now like in a more state somehow. I forget how. But
Oh, right, she
that's
did- yeah,
still-
she did Herschel
they
back.
already going to get Herschel anyway.
So basically, she was going to say, hey, guys, I'm sitting on the bar.
Yeah,
She was
exactly.
she was gonna
She would call no phones. Okay, next call is from Joy.
Hey guys, this is Troy Crack, I do a podcast called Completely Comics. I love The Walking Dead. Some of the benefits of comic book itself, does how awesome the show is itself, no AMC. Now, my comment really about the show is anybody who produces the comic book or the show, they say it's really about the zombies, it's about people surviving after the apocalypse. But time and time again, fans say we need more zombies, we need more zombies, and do something like going to the beach, to swim in the wintertime. It's something that's just not what winter sports are about. So, take a chill deal, people, zombie fans. Walking Dead's more about the people. That's what everybody's saying. There's something else comic book related. Same as right between Walking Dead and Talking Dead is comic book man on AMC. Are you guys watching that? If you haven't, it's over on AMC.com. You get one of the first episodes. It's just super fun, geekery, it's wonderful mind candy. I do recommend it. So have a great day, guys. Love the show. Bye.
You guys watch that?
No.
Nope, me neither. I watched it because I don't have cable. I think you watched it free online.
He said it was on.
Oh, yeah. So maybe I'll check it out. I heard one very good from other people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was imagining, what's his name?
Kevin Smith.
I was imagining Kevin Smith basically bringing to life comic book guy from The Simpsons.
I think this is about his actual comic story.
Yeah. I read also that he will only wear hockey jerseys. He's gotten so large. Only hockey jerseys.
And he gets thrown off planes.
Right.
I'm gonna check it out though. I'm gonna check it
Okay,
out because I am a nerdy comic book fan.
Thanks for coming.
All right, let's move on to next week on The Walking Dead.
All right, so next week the episode is called 18 Miles Out, and the little blurb on AMC says, Rick and Shane come into conflict over the fate of an outsider, which we presume is Randall. Andrew helps Herschel's youngest daughter face a crucial decision, and that must have done with emerging from her fugue state. It's written by Scott M. Grimple and Glenn Mazzara, and it's directed by Ernest Dickerson.
He's good.
Yeah,
He directed the Wire episode.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah. Wait, what does it say about the daughter?
It says, Andrea helps Herschel's youngest daughter face a crucial decision.
Whether to wake up from her coma.
Maybe. Yeah, no, interesting.
Yeah.
So, did you see any previews? Francis?
Yeah, one showed Maggie talking to Andrea, or Lori, and Maggie was telling her about how Gwen's being, like this and whatever, and Lori said, just tell him to man up.
Really?
Don't put in those words. That never works out very well. Something like that.
Just a little preview they played in the show. I thought it was awesome.
Oh, yeah? Would it, okay, there's no spoilers here, but would it?
No, really quick blurb. No spoilers. Just that it seemed, I guess you make a preview look like anything. It seemed kind of action-packed, like a lot of stuff was going to happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, like Glenn Mazzara said, it's going to be the sense for the rest of the season, so I'm happy. Yeah, I thought it was a great episode. Can't believe it. 2.5. We actually didn't get why.
3.
Oh, 2.5. Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But what was the biggest thing that didn't bump it up to a 4 for you?
Love it because everyone was yelling, blah, blah, blah.
Who's yelling?
Everybody was yelling.
Okay, always yelling each other. So you want to start reviewing Desperate Housewives and stuff? There's conflict on there too. What show can we do? That one where they like appraise antiques.
Antique Roadshow. Or what's the upstairs downstairs remake right now?
Isn't there conflict?
Oh,
I've been watching the hell out of that, by the way.
Is it good?
It's really
Is
good.
there a lot of conflict?
There's conflict.
Any zombies?
Nope.
Yeah.
Yard Crashers. No,
Yeah.
How about Hoarders? No, there's plenty of them.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
No.
Oh my god, it's a nightmare.
That would just stress me out.
It is very stressful. Okay, you ready to close it out?
I am.
All right, that's our show, episode 56. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for coming, David.
Thank you guys.
So we'll be back as usual next week, Monday at 5 p.m. Pacific. So you can join us live at WalkingDeadcast.com live.
We love to read your chats.
Yep. Anytime if you'd like to leave us a message, you can call us at 650-485-DEAD. That's 650-485-3323.
You can email us at brains@walkingdeadcast.com.
You can check out our website and leave comments at walkingdeadcast.com.
We're also on Twitter at Jason Karen and on Facebook at facebook.com/deadcast.
Okay, that's our show.
Thanks for listening.
Don't get dead like this guy.